Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Into this update, like I told you guys basically yesterday, um, we are doing the massive water change on the fish tank just because it's been dirty and it's going to the danger zone and we don't want that. So in today's video we're covering how you can change your water without one making a big mess, or two, if you don't know the tools or you don't know how to maintain your water in the swap, since you have to make a regularly swap waters and clean it out. Maybe every 4 days or so, you have to swap your water to maintain your fish healthy and happy. And another thing I want to do, I want to apologize also on the noise. I am actually babysitting my two kids, so they're playing with their toys and there's something the toys are kind of loud. Also we have the TV since they're watching TV. So I'm in the living room because this is the living room tank for the living room for my kids, so that they can enjoy it here. Obviously, my fish tank is over there, the one where we're doing the projects and the with the guppies and all that. So yeah, that's gonna be today. So we're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover some of the tools that I use, that I personally use. I'm also gonna explain a little bit of what you could have used to make your cleaning even better than mine, just because I don't have the tools that I really want. I am getting them later, so I'm gonna talk about that a little bit on later on the video. So yeah, those are the topics we're gonna cover, and we'll see how it goes. So first thing we're gonna moving on is, if you're gonna like make a massive water change, right? Like a huge one where you have to swap the entire tank and make a clean and all that. Okay, sweetie, go sit down and make a, take your fishes out and skip them out. You want to have a fine netting where you're gonna catch your fish in there and then swap them out. That way this is not rough on their coating or skin, and it won't harm them in any way. Another thing that you want to have is your suction tube. This is where I was going to say I'm going to talk about what will work for you. This tube, I bought it since it was my first time, right? I thought it was going to be enough, but it turns out this is not ideal. I recommend you guys getting a bigger. First of all, you guys want to have a bigger suction cup, because if you guys see when I stick it in my fish tank, right, it's not all the way through the rocks, because the rocks is where you want to clean, because that's where the waste goes with it. You feed your fishes, obviously, so they have waste come down, and that's where it goes into the rocks, and you want to maintain that rock clean. Not every time you want to do a massive wash like I'm about to do, but just because the situation that I'm in, that's why I'm doing. So what you want to do is obviously get that big long tube, right? And you want to make it where it's long enough so this tube will reach your bottom, right, without you having to stick your hand. Normally I say that because sometimes we don't know if we got chemicals in our hands. You have probably not washed them right before you're doing this. I just got finished cleaning the house, so my hands are pretty clean, so I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, you don't want to put your hands in there while they're dirty, because oil, you might have lotion on, all that can harm your fish, and you might end up to killing them. You don't want that, so you want to keep your hands free from touching the water as much as you can. But you want to have a tube that's longer than you can reach that. Another thing you want to have is on the other end that you're not, using your tube, is where, I know baby, is where you have a like a little sucking cup, like a pump type of thing. They do sell them in your local stores. They're about like $30, $20. It's a little bit in the high range, but it will help you. This is like one of the cheapest they got. I think this is like $14. And I didn't realize how important that was gonna come in later on. But yeah, I would recommend you guys get the one that has a pump, so you can pump your water, and you don't have to do what I'm gonna show you guys. Because what I had to do, I had to put my fingers on the end. I know you guys saw it sometime on the video. I think it was check it out, it's on the LED lighting part 1, filter scare. So, and I show you guys how I do it, so I'm not gonna talk about that too much. You guys can check it out there if you like. Another thing you guys wanna have is a bucket, right? A bucket is where you're gonna pour your water that you're getting out of your tank in here, and then from here you dump it out. Or this is where you're gonna put your your new water and get it coated. You know, because if you're gonna use tap water, always, I recommend you always get a water conditioner and disinfect the chlorine that comes in your tap water. Never put tap water in your freshwater fish tank, because the reason why I say that is because if you put chlorine on there, it's gonna harm your fish. It's gonna start harming them on the gills and stuff like that, and that could lead into ammonia and kill them. You know, you also wanna, when you do your water change, which I'm gonna explain better when I'm at that point, right? So you wanna do all that. I wanna talk about is the one that I have. It's a 12-quart mopping. It's a mopping bucket, right? But you can find this in your dollar store. They're cheap. They're about like $6. Also, I'm pretty sure they have more. But the reason why I have this bucket and not an actual real tall bucket that you guys are probably thinking of is because this bucket comes with measurements, right? This bucket comes by quarts, right? I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it comes with quarts. You can barely see it right here. This is your quarts. It tells you right there. And also on the other side, it comes by liters. So what you wanna, the reason why I have it is because if you're gonna do, like, say, 50% water change on your fish tank, you wanna know how much water you're taking out, because that's how much water you're gonna be putting back in, right? So in this case, I'm probably gonna do like a 75 water change, or maybe even all. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to like see the condition of the water, right? Once I take it out and see what I can do. I'm probably gonna have to do it all, and because it's in a very bad shape. If you guys can see it, if you have not seen my last video, check it out. It will explain to you guys later how bad it was. So obviously I'm probably gonna have to do a whole thing. So the bucket really, it won't come in useful in a little bit, besides, you know, carrying the water to the destination point where I'm gonna dump in and put water back in. But if you're gonna do like a 25% water change, you want to know how much water you're taking out, because that's how you're gonna determine how much water you're putting back in, and how much, you know, water conditioner and bacteria you're gonna have to put back in. So it's always good to know how much measurement of water is taken out and taken. So another thing that you guys wanna have is a quick start bacterial, you know, cycle. What this allows is you're gonna pour this on your new water, right? Once you've taken out your water, your old water, and you dump it out, you're gonna want to add your bacterial starter, which this allows you to, like, the one that I have allows me, right? And it says it right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's by my finger right here, in the very first one in the blue. And what this allows, it allows me to add my fish instantly, and it won't harm them, right? Some bacterial cycles takes about a day or so, 24 hours before you put your fishes on. Obviously, you know, they technically didn't do anything. It's gonna harm your fish, their gills, and they're gonna die. Unfortunately, one of our fishes died by stress, but it wasn't because of that. But yeah, we were getting close to that. Our water was cloudy. You guys can check that on part 1, the LED lighting on, right? So you guys can see my water was cloudy compared to my last video, which was part 2. Now it's all like clear. So, and that's because of this. This helps the bacteria, so that way your cycle goes from ammonia to nitrite to natrium, and it changes it to where it won't harm your fish, right? So that's what you want to prevent. You want to prevent ammonia in your fish tank, so your fish can be healthy and they can swim and be happy. So that's your quick start. Also, this is the tap water conditioner, right? It says it right there. You guys can see it once you buy tap water conditioner. You can ask for your store manager or someone, whoever's helping you in your store, local store, Petco, PetSmart. I'm pretty sure they have it. You want to have that. And what this is gonna disinfect the chlorine out of your tap water. The tap water is safe for us, and it's safe for the plants, and even for some animals. But for our fishes, unfortunately, you don't want to have tap water. It harms them, you know, and that's a bad thing for you to have. So yeah, those are the tools you guys want to have on hand before you do a water swap. That's very important. So now let's get into the process. Alright, so now that we've been through all that and what you guys need, which one thing that I didn't forget to mention is if you're gonna take your fishes out, if you have the same problem that I am, where you know you're too far into the nitrite and it's getting close to the ammonia and it's getting harmful for the fish, you want to have a bowl, right? A bowl. You want to rinse it off, get all the dirt out. If you rinse it out with tap water, which what I did, you want to dry it out as much as you can. You don't want to have too much tap water in there where it's gonna affect your fish. What you want to do is, out of this thing, even though this water is not safe, this water has been disinfected from chlorine and all that. So what you want to do is grab some water out of this, right? And you want to pour here so that way you can move your fishes from there to here, and they can stay here in the same water, temperature that you guys have. Obviously, they'll be okay just because it's gonna be for a few minutes, and then you want to get going so that way they don't stay on that water that you trying to get rid of in the first place. So first thing first, if you do have a lid, right, you want to remove your lid all the way through so that way you have access to your fishes. My lid is an LED light, it's plugged in, so you want to unplug your LED light, and while you're at it, if you're nearby your filter plug-in, you want to unplug your filter. You don't want to run your filter dry when you're doing this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it over here. Alright, I'm going to move it here where it's safe, it's not going to get in my way or anything like that. My bucket is over here, so I'm going to put my bucket, if you have the same tube that I have, you don't have the pump, you want to put your bucket on the lower size from your fish tank. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it all the way in the bottom. Alright, all the way to where, like, on the floor. And I'm going to make more space first. Right. So what I'm gonna do is on this water change, you don't want to clean or remove your filter. If your filter is dirty, that's fine, leave it there. Just because you're removing so much bacteria in the first place out of your fish tank already, you want to leave your filter untouched, because that keeps bacteria, and you want to keep as much bacteria as you want from, so that way you can keep your fish healthy. Now, obviously, I am gonna clean it. I'm gonna change the filter, but I'm gonna give it about 2 days, 2 to 3 days, probably tomorrow if so, before I clean it or remove it and put a new one, because the new one has no bacteria, and you don't want that, right? So you wanna at least keep as much bacteria as you can. So you wanna grab a cup, right? Like I say, same thing. You don't wanna have anything chlorine on it. Dry it out if you washed it. If it's clean. You wanna put enough water here so that way your fishes can swim, they can be healthy, or not healthy, but safe and not suffocate. Okay, so I have enough water here. Alright, so what you want to do now is go in there and get all your fishes out. I do have an algae eater. He's very tiny, he's really small, so I have to be careful with that. So what you want to do, try to be gentle with them, try not to stress them out as much. Alright, there's one. Alright, so I run into this issue, right? If you got ornaments, you probably want to take them, right? That's probably going to be easier for you. So I'm going to do that. Now, my hands are clean, so I'm not too concerned about putting them in there, but my ornaments are big enough to where I don't have to stick my hand all the way. It's just like barely my fingers. So what I'm gonna do, these are wet, so I'm gonna rinse them off, right? Because you don't want any bad water in there. So I'm gonna put that one there, and then I'm gonna grab this. You want to make sure that if you have an algae eater and they're tiny, right? You don't want to get them out and by mistake, or they're being in there, and then coming out and not have any water. So alright, so there you go, my algae fell, so I'm good now. Alright, my ornaments are here, they're good. Now I have a good chance of getting them without any trouble. There we go, a whole lot easier. Alright, there's two. I got several here, so There's 3. Now you want to be as gentle as you can with your fish. You don't want to harm them. Now always remember the stress level that it's gonna be on the fishes. Obviously it's gonna be a little bit high, so that's why I'm trying to keep it as calm as possible. And you want to try to catch them as fast as you can. Reason why is because the more you chase them down, the more stressful it's gonna be for them, and obviously that could be bad. Come on, buddy. We've been friends, right? All right, good. All right, there we go. Now they're getting pretty big now. From last time that I had them, when we got them, they were really tiny. So now they're decent size. This man's freaking fast, buddy. Fine. Okay. There we go. Jeez, he keeps swimming around. All right. So I got all my fishes, right? I'm probably gonna have to get my algae eater because he's so tiny, and they're all over all over the place there. All right. Yeah, he's really tiny, so you want to be careful with them. There you go. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see him. He's really tiny still. He's really he was technically a baby when we got him. Usually he's okay. So I don't know if you guys can see. I'm gonna give you guys a really close up on how tiny he is. There he is. He's really tiny. So he's still there. All right. So I successfully managed to get my fishes out. So next thing is dumping your water. Here's my water, right? And it's sucking from inside the fish tank, and it's going down through here, all the way down over here. So here's where I set it up on the floor. So that's where my water is. So I'm gonna keep sucking, right? I'm just gonna play around all the way down. I'm not gonna record it all just because it's just water coming out. And then I'll explain. I'll be back. So my water's it's already halfway. So a quick update for you guys, really quick. Yes, baby. Yeah, like a fish. So if you're not gonna do like a massive completely water change, and you're just doing like a 50%, like probably around here, this will be like a really bad situation where you need a swap or something, or where you detected like an ammonia spike or something. What you want to do is, and you want to clean your gravel, or even if you just want to clean your gravel, right? So when you stick your tube in there, you just want to poke in there. I'm pretty sure you guys won't be able to see it, but when you poke in the rocks, you keep it there. You're gonna see a lot of waste coming out, and you want to keep that tube all like that. You want to keep that tube in there until all that waste is out and gone, and then you move to another spot. Right there you go. All that waste comes up, and boom, another spot. And the same thing. You want to keep repeating that over and over and over until your rocks are clean. It's healthy for your fishes, and then you move on. You add your water back up. I already got most of my water out. What I'm gonna do now, I can lift it up. It's like not heavy to where I can, so now I can. If you can lift it up, that's fine. If you cannot, then keep pouring out water until you can lift it, and it makes your process a little bit faster. But one thing that I want to point out, right? If you're just doing a small little amount of water change, a regular water change, and everything's fine, you have no ammonia spike or anything. What you want to do is, you can either dump it. I normally dump it in my toilet. Just because it's the toilet and you can flush it out and all that good stuff. But if you don't want to dump this water when it's in a good point, right, where it doesn't have ammonia spike or anything, because all those bacteria is very useful for your live plants. So if you have plants around your houses, or your house, and you want to fertilize them, this is a good water you can pour on your plants, and then they'll grow and flourish. So fish water is always good from the tank, as long as the water's good and it's all clear and well maintained. So, but yeah, I'm gonna dump this out, and I'm gonna clean the water, right, like a regular clean. If you have cooked before and you clean your beans or rice, before you cook them, you know the process, how you do it. You move your rice around. That's basically how I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna move my rocks around, pour water, tap water, it doesn't matter. Move it around, make sure all that waste is it's good and gone and clean. And then you dump that water, you put in your water, you dump it out until your rock, you know for sure it's clean enough where you can just pour your new water. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Also, at this point, you wanna remove your filter, right? You're gonna remove your filter from here because you don't need it. It's just the fish tank, and keep it on the side so that way when you come back, you can plug it back in. I just forgot to add that, so it's a magnet. All right, so here's my rocks, right? Like I said, and here's my remaining. This is the remaining. I'm still gonna rinse it off and all that good stuff. So you know, I'm not too concerned about how much rock stays in there. But here's my rock. What I'm gonna do is, obviously, I know this is gonna be a little bit loud, guys. I do apologize. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do this, right? If you haven't washed or cooked anything, so that's good enough water. You don't want to fill your thing. If you haven't cleaned, you know, cooked rice or beans before, but this is the process that you want to do, right? Just move them side to side, and then now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dump this water out, put back again, and just keep repeating the process until the water is clean. Alright, now that you rinsed it off and you know you clean your tank a little and all that good stuff, you put your rock back in there, your clean rocks. Now you want to rinse your ornaments right before you put them back in. So I'll be right back. Alright, so now my ornaments are put in, the rinse and put in, my filter is back on. Like I said, don't clean your filter yes, because that has bacteria and you want to have that, right? So you want to do one thing at a time, and because I'm doing a huge, massive water change, I don't want to touch my filter yet, right? So I want to let that stay there and keep it going. Otherwise, you can harm your fish. So once this is there and all this is good, and you set, I don't think I need anything else. Everything's washed. Now you're good to put your new water. Now remember, goldfish needs a temperature from a 68 Fahrenheit to a 74 Fahrenheit range on your water. So that's what you want to do. You want to have a thermometer, which I'll show you guys in a second. A thermometer, you want to measure your water. Make sure that water is in that same range, so that way you don't harm your fish, and they still stay in that water range that they love. All right, so I'm gonna put water in. Here's my thermometer. What I'll do, I'll pour it on the water that's coming from, right? And as you guys can see, the bar stays within that safe zone in the green area. So that's what I want. I want to make sure that my water's coming in is there, so that way when I pour in my tank, I know my temperature is safe. So I'm just gonna let it fill up, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill it up. And if you're having trouble by keeping your gravel, you know, to stay and it's all over the place because you're pouring water in it, what you want to do, if you have a hard substance like a rock or a cave like I do, or a house, something like that, that you know it won't move with when you pour the water in it, aim for that substance, because that will break the power that of the water drop that's coming in there. So you'll be good. It won't harm you. It won't move your rocks anywhere. That's how I'll be doing. My rocks are still the same how I left it, and you know, it'll be faster for you. That way you don't have to rearrange every time your stuff. So yeah. So I like to add my stuff now because the new water's coming in. It's gonna move it around, and you know, you got it cycled. My temperature is where I want it. So what I'm gonna do for this, so for your tap water, right? If you read your instructions, right, because it comes with instructions, it tells you to add 1 millimeter, which basically will be all in the bottom, every 15 you know, liters. Well, so you want to add 1 full cup based on the instructions, right? Every instruction is different, so make sure you read it. 1 full cup is gonna go on my 10 gallon fish tank. So you want to be careful. You don't want to pour too much in it to where it's gonna harm them. So that way your fish stays healthy. So that's my tap water. This will kill the chlorine out of my tap water that's coming out. So, and that I'm pouring in there. My next thing that I'm gonna add before I add my final water is my quick start bacteria process. I'm gonna my cycle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour it in there. For this bacteria, if you don't know how much you have to add, the camera's not zooming in or focusing too much. But you want to add 10 millimeters per 10 US gallons, right? So this cup, right, that comes with it, comes with your measurements. So you know how much you put in. Here's your 5 millimeter, your 10 millimeter, and your 1 millimeter in the inside of the bottle. So you want to fill it up there, and then you want to pour it in water. So I like to do it this now, so that way when I pour my last water, it moves it around, and and it cycles it, moves it naturally before I turn my my filter back on. So that's it. Now I'm gonna add my final water. I just added my final water, right, as you guys saw. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my filter. The water, make sure before you turn on your filter that your filter is all the way full. Some filters don't start if you don't have your water fully enough where you want your filter can process. Now, before you start your filter, right, you'll want to grab some water, pour it on the back of your filter, and fill it up. That helps your process in the filter, and you won't blow your motor before you get it started. And you remember, always put your water back to level, so that way your filter's good. Final look inspection on your water. It's on temperature. I know I already added my 2 components that I needed. Everything's looking fine. Water has been changed. It's looking good. So you want to give it about good maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Let it process a little before you add your fish back in your thing. So when you add your fish, you don't want to add that water. You don't just want to dump that water back in there, because that water was contaminated, and you don't want that back in your fish tank. So what I'm gonna do is let it sit here for a good 2-3 minutes, and then I'm gonna put my fish back and feed them. Right, make sure you don't feed them right before you're gonna do the water change, otherwise they won't get the best of it. Either feed them an hour before you do your water change, or right after your water change has been done. Now remember, guys, I always recommend that you guys have a heater on your fish tank. They're about the range of 68 to 75 fish temperature. Have a heater so that you don't constantly have to change and worry about your temperature. Set it up properly, and you should be good. I don't have a heater, so I have to do water change regularly, but I'm working on probably getting a heater probably tomorrow for either tanks, or for both tanks. And then also I'm also adding a new fish tank tomorrow for my females in fries that are coming in. So stay tuned for that video. It's gonna be not uploaded tomorrow, but after this video, which this video is going out Friday, and that video will be next. So stay tuned for that. Here's the water change that I promised you guys I was gonna do. Thank you for watching, and I will get back to you guys once it's time to add my fishes. So I'm ready to add my fishes, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna add my algae eater first. It's in the cup, so I'm gonna dump the cup in here, or the water in here, and put my fish, my netting. So if he does fall with the water, he will fall in my net. There you go. And now I'm gonna move it here. And there. Alright, guys. So the fishes are back in the fish tank, like they're ready for. So there they are. They're swimming. The algae eater is inside here like usual. So you won't be able to see him as much. Oh, actually no, never mind. He went back here. He's over here on the glass, as you guys can see right there. Tiny little thing. So yeah, he's hanging around. The water's clean. Everything's better now. The tank looks a lot better. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Remember, if this helped you guys, then I hope it helps you improve, and so you guys can stick around more. Don't forget, guys, later on we're coming in with another video. We're adding the new fish tank here for our females and fries, and also a filter cleanup will be coming in soon. So stick around for that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Fish. Oh, you can actually see fish more. Yeah. 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 Water. It's clear, huh? Okay, fish. Okay, so it's been about three to 4 minutes, almost 5. So I'm ready now to add. Kids, can you go that way, baby? Atticus, that way. Atticus, that way. Point. Right. So you want to do all that. The bucket. Oops. So I'm gonna put this on the side. What I'm gonna grab is my fine netting, and I'm gonna go in there. My son just fell.